Candidate Michelle Bachmann hit the president pretty hard over his recent remarks about the economy. Bachmann told Sean Hannity last night that the president has no empathy. Here's part of that exchange. We're going to debate it and talk about it right after.
We're not hearing from the president that he even begins to understand this horrific situation that a lot of Americans are in. It's really shocking, Sean, the lack of empathy that this president has. I talk to people. I care about people.
All right, well, let's bring in Simon Rosenberg, director of the New Democrat Network and former Clinton campaign advisor, and Mark Thiessen, former speechwriter for President George W. Bush. Gentlemen, welcome. Good to have both of you here today.
Thanks.
I want to just start this by taking a look at a couple pieces of video that sort of prompted that line of discussion. Let's take a look at that, and then I want to get your reaction. We'll start with Simon.
There are always going to be bumps on the road to recovery.
And that's exactly what we see in American business as well.
Shovel ready was not as shovel ready as we expected.
That chatter and that laughter got a lot of attention, Simon. Is that criticism well placed, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Michelle Bachmann on having a great week. I mean, she's a new and powerful entrant into the Republican field, and so she's been exciting to watch this whole week. But I don't agree with what she said. I mean, clearly the president came in understanding how severe the economic struggle was. He moved heaven and earth in the first 2 years of his presidency. In fact, the Republicans have criticized him for doing way too much. I mean, from the stimulus plan to saving Detroit to moving a consumer-friendly health care bill, there was an enormous amount of steps taken to try to address the struggle of everyday people. So I think she's off base in this criticism.
All right, Mark, let me go to you on that. What do you think about that? And he, if anything, if what Simon says is true for certain groups of people, it probably is true for certain groups of people under President Obama. But there's this feeling that he's out of touch, and that may give him a hard time as he moves forward toward the election.
No, absolutely. Michelle Bachmann is on to something. Look, when the president makes a joke saying the shovel-ready project weren't so shovel-ready, if you're one of the 14 million Americans who can't find a job, and the failure of the stimulus is no laughing matter. And then when he says that comment about the bumps in the road, polls show 60% of Americans say that for them there is no recovery. The recovery hasn't even started, so they don't see bumps on the road. They don't even see the road yet. So I think this is a real problem for the president. And I'll give you the most damning evidence is that my newspaper, the Washington Post, does a poll every so often that asks the question, do you think the president gets the problems of people like you? And when Obama took office in 2009, well over 70% of Americans said Obama gets the problems of people like me. Today, that number is down below 50% for the first time in his presidency.
And that's got to be worrisome when they take a look at that. I want to show you another moment with Mitt Romney and get both of your reaction to this, because this got some negative attention as well. Let's play Mitt Romney.
I'm also unemployed.
Oh, you on LinkedIn?
Yes, actually. And I'm networking. But I have my sight on a particular job I'm working for, so I know exactly what I'm aiming. And it's not terribly entrepreneurial, but it's a lot of work.
We can all understand the lightness of that moment, just as we can understand in the shovel-ready moment that, there was some nervous laughter in that room. It's a question of communication. How does that look for Mitt Romney, who we all know is a wealthy man, a very successful man, Simon? Is that going to be rough for him?
It reminded all of us that Mitt Romney is not the greatest politician in the world. I mean, he stumbled around the last time he ran quite a bit. We'll see if he's improved this time. But look, I think this question of empathy is actually a very important question. And the thing that Mark was saying, I just want to address something Mark said, is that the stimulus wasn't failed. I mean, the economy is substantially better today than when the president took office. It's not, we shouldn't be celebrating where it is. It has to clearly get better. But we were losing hundreds of thousands of jobs every month. We're now gaining jobs. We've had many months in a row where the economy has been producing jobs. So first of all, I think things are better. Second of all, I think this question of empathy is an important question, because right now we have the Republican Party advocating for tax cuts for the wealthiest people in the country, the biggest corporations who are making record profits, while trying to cut things like education, health care, and stuff for everyday people. And so if they want to get empathy from the American people, they've got to have a strategy that shows that their economic plans will actually make things better for them.
Simon, it's so interesting to me, though. I want to address this headline, in the LA Times this morning. In a switch, GOP's Michelle Bachmann talks of empathy. Now, and it goes on to talk about, this harsh Tea Party advocate. you know, to suggest that people who feel differently about how to stimulate the economy don't have empathy is also very unfair, Simon.
I don't think so.
Also,
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
well, I just think that Simon and the Democrats equate empathy with spending other people's money. You know, the Republican Party actually has a plan, for example, to save Medicare, which is about to go bankrupt, and the Democrats haven't put forward any plan whatsoever. And so the Democrats have no plan, and they attack the Republican plan, but they don't put forward any ideas of their own. So, you know, I don't equate empathy with how much of the taxpayers' money you spend. I equate empathy with actually having policies that will create jobs, taking the burden off of regulation and taxes off of the job creators, the businesses that are going to get us out of this recovery.
As we interestingly saw in that exchange with Bill Daley and the small business owners, they feel like he doesn't understand them or is not empathetic for the situation that their businesses are in as they, you know, try to grow their businesses to hire more people. So empathy, I agree with you both. It's a very important touchstone for this election, and it means different things clearly to different people.
Yep.
Mark, thank you very much. Simon, thank you as well.
Martha.
Good to see you both.
Thanks, Martha.
All right. Well, this is coming up. The budget